Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here. Hope you've got a big weekend planned here, the last weekend of the month. And hard to imagine that we're talking about a full third of the year already gone. So, so I appreciate you spending time with here with me as we continue to look at the book of James. James chapter 4 today. We'll be looking at verse 9, at a verse that may cause a little bit of confusion, and really I don't guess it should if we look at the context. I just think a lot of times it gets taken, people take the verse and just pull this verse out and use it really completely out of context. James has been talking about temptation and dealing with temptation, overcoming temptation. And then he says, be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning and your joy to heaviness. Seems just a little bit out of place, a little bit unique for the Bible to be telling us to get rid of your happiness, to get rid of your joy. Instead, mourn and weep. But again, we have to remember James is writing in the context of dealing with temptation and how we deal with it. And the word affliction, or to be afflicted, that is used there in verse 9. A.T. Robertson, in his great work on the words of the New Testament, says that this word means to endure toils. To endure toils. Barclay, in his commentary, says to discipline and voluntarily abstain. And so the picture is this, that when we find ourselves in times of temptation, it is not a time for us to be laughing and joking and carefree and just kicked back, unconcerned and lackadaisical about that. He says temptation is affliction, and it's time for us to be, as Barclay says, disciplined, to be in control. Temptation is a time for putting on the armor. It's a time for being prepared. Much like we're coming into that time of the year. I've already had one at my house. When your phone alarms and you get that sound that tells you that to beware of a tornado. That's not the time to go out in the yard and grill hamburgers. That's the time to what that warning is for us to be alert, to watch the skies, to see if any type storm is coming at us. That's what James is saying here about temptation. And this is one of the greatest weapons, the wisest things that we have available to us in overcoming and dealing with temptation. As soon as we sense, as soon as we observe that we're coming into a place, a time of temptation, stop. If you find yourself in a situation where you find yourself tempted, get out of that situation. No matter how much fun you may be having at the time, it's not a time to be laughing, James says. It's a time to be serious and to be prepared. If you're just a random example, if you find yourself in a setting and maybe it starts getting a little raucous and wild, and maybe the language turns south, or maybe the alcohol is flowing freely, or the proverbial wine, women, and song. James says that's not a time to be laughing and careless. That's a time to put on your guard to get out of that situation. And so probably one of the wisest statements James makes to us about dealing with temptation is this verse. When we're dealing with temptation, it's not a time for laughter and carelessness. It is a time to be alert, to be on our guard, that we would be prepared to deal with that temptation. Be on your guard today. Watch out for temptation that you may need to put up your guard. So think about that. You have a great day. We'll see you back here Monday morning.